So at 7 minutes after, you're the only one here. What would you like to discuss?
Regarding the architecture one that you told,
Uh-huh.
I went through the documentation. Means I got an overview where we need to make changes and all. So in the architecture section, we need to add all the information regarding the Keptn lifecycle toolkit, right?
Yes, for the first the life cycle operator, and
Hmm.
then the scheduler.
Scheduler. Okay. So for that, I need to go through the whole code base basically. So to get an overview for drafting the README file.
Right. See if it shows. And of course, also because written into that, assumed is it is a Kubernetes operator.
Hmm.
So we'll reference the Kubernetes documentation, but how does it fit into Kubernetes? How does it interject itself into Kubernetes? And then where does it become? So already talked to Giovanni. He thinks this is great. They'll be watching you and looking for some good, interesting coding projects when you're done with this. So
Sure, definitely. Yes.
so so it makes sense and you know what you're doing.
Yes, yes. Regarding the architecture one, yeah. After going to the issues, overall I got an idea how to proceed, basically. Yes.
Okay. Um, how familiar are you with what all's been done with the documentation?
Mm, basically, I am familiar with whole Keptn project, how the matrix operator work. Basically, through one of the things recently, Rakshit has one of an I can say session on Keptn in KCD Mumbai. So over there, I got an overview how the Keptn matrix provider works. And from there, I started researching about Keptn, and I got to know how Keptn works in production environment, basically.
Right. And let me send you. I made you a reviewer on this. I don't know if you got pinged or not. Um, I went through last night and looked what I think Rakshit was the one who did the Keptn or the metrics operator.
Hmm.
And it was nice. But I looked at he did it before we had all the reference pages. It doesn't have all the references in it and stuff. So I went through and made a couple of edits to give you an idea. And that one doesn't need that many. Yours may need more links than his has. And I may not have put in as many as we needed either. So still see my screen. Want to show you two important reference sections that you may reference a lot. Okay, this is, have you looked at this?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is Autobit. Okay, so Lifecycle API, I only half understand the stuff that I look at it, but it is useful because this is definitive. This is everything. And now see, the engineers say if you know what you're doing, this is all you need to do those resource definition things. I'm not convinced. Because then you have to, for me to figure out the YAML file, I have to dig down, and then this goes into the object meta, and there's all this stuff. But whatever. But it is there. I also am more and more I'm looking at it to see exactly what stuff is. And then this is for now, everything's up for this is new project, and we'll see what it is. This was mine for the CRDs that you need to populate a YAML file to define them. This is reference pages for those.
Okay.
And I have written these. They are far from perfect, but I think they're a good start. But so like the first time in a second, like the old doc, as soon as they talked about the Keptn task definition, they threw out the YAML file. And, so this is a place where you can go and theoretically, this will be everything one needs to know about the Keptn task definition. And you got, that's a mess. That one is a real mess because we've got the runners. So we've got this part of the synopsis that is good for all the runners and describe that. And then we've got the Deno runner where basically the spec is different. And then we've got the container runner. So that one's kind of a mess, but they wanted to implement it. It makes sense how they did that. Let's look at one that's a little cleaner, the metrics. Now that's a bad one to look at because that's not yours. Evaluation definition, that's one that's a little bit cleaner and is in your ballpark. So like the first, you say this is going to be defined in the Keptn evaluation definition, make that a link to this page. And then, if they want to know everything, and then you can put in examples and discuss them or, or whatever. But so we don't have 20 places in the documentation that are explaining the whole synopsis, and they will be out, and I've been there before more times than I care to count, including when I started the Keptn V1. There were things that I found 20 copies of some stuff, and almost every one of them had something in it of value that the others didn't have. And that's what happened. So this way, when something comes in, it all gets centralized here. We need more examples. We need more interesting examples. But we have C also, and the one thing that I want to do, I have done it for the task definition, I haven't, is to have this and the API reference cross-linked to each other. So, and I did get, where are you? There we are for the API reference. So I'm on the Keptn task definition. And if I link to that, it takes me right into that in the API reference. Because this one is auto-generated, so this one will always be up to date, assuming somebody remembers to auto-generate it. And the other one, an update could get missed, but so. For the general, just so you know, for the general structure, we've got Get It Started, which are 3 really bad getting started guides, but they made management happy and shut up for a while. Migrating, we're working on that. Installation and upgrade, but again, there's your steps for installing, which link to everything. But you've got your requirements and what you need for your cluster. And this is out of place, but for now, if you want to replace the cert manager and then the actual install and upgrade, then from there you go. This one we may want to split up, especially if we're going to do this more as having the 3 components, but for now they're all crammed into one. The important one that we're referencing all the time is after you install and enable KLT, then you're going to have to, with each of your applications, you're going to have to do these annotations.
Okay.
And these I've got links all over because it becomes that. And this needs to be rewritten a little bit too. It's more or less accurate, but it's not wonderful. But that has how you do that. And then at the bottom of that, we do have the information about the Keptn automatic app discovery, which is, because I don't know if you've run into the Keptn app, you can sit there and you can manually put in all your workloads. But if you take everything that you want included, if you say my app is going to be called Yasha's app, if I either tag each one of those workloads as part of Yasha's app, or that would be the Kubernetes one, or where's the Keptn? I'm looking at. Yeah, there are gates up at the top. As I say, this needs some restructuring. Yeah, the Keptn one is just as app, and that could be Yasha's app. As soon as those are tagged, they all get thrown in, and you've got the Keptn app YAML. You've got it defined. What I don't know, and I can't get a, is what is controlling the order that all those workloads execute in. And especially they have like one that everybody went, gee, I have no idea, is if I have 3 different metrics providers and I'm using evaluations for all 3 in one app, what order do they execute in? And nobody knows. I will keep pushing them, and as we get it, but I think those are the important things and you'll find there's various things in there, and there's most of the stuff, the best of the stuff is a good start. we
Hmm.
keep working on it. There isn't much left in concepts except, and I'd like to get architecture up to the top level
Hmm.
sometime, but
Sure.
it sounds like looking at the Go code, it made sense to you. You could see what was going on.
Yes, yes. Trying to figure out things using Go now.
Oh,
I recently built a small Kubernetes operator, basically which detects the persistent volume claim. So yeah, learning Golang also on the way.
cool. And then there is lots of work to be done. So I think they'll be able to find you some good stuff.
Hmm. So yes,
And you're on and up. We're so happy to have you officially a member. It was so
yeah.
fun.
Thank
Now
you.
you don't have to go in and put a comment. I may assign another 20 issues to you. It's so easy. I can just type in Yash and they find
Yes.
you. So
I don't thank you for your support.
yeah. Well, we thank you for your good work already, and we look forward to lots more of it. So
Yeah, definitely. Thank
okay.
you.
Anything else you need?
No, no.
Shall we
If
call it a
any,
meeting? Hmm?
yeah, if any issue arises, I will try to communicate to you through Slack, basically.
Okay. And how many now you know Moritz a little bit, right? Moritz mentioned something a couple weeks ago he was doing with you.
Hmm. Keptn metric provider, basically. Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so there's Moritz, there's Flo, there's
Hmm.
Anna, and
Yes.
there's Andre spelled Ondrej. Took me a while to
Ha.
get used to that. He's Slovenia, someplace like that. He's someplace just to the east of Austria is where he's natively from. But they're all very smart. They're all very nice. They're all very articulate.
Hmm.
So feel free to throw questions out to any of them
Sure,
or
sure,
to me,
definitely.
or and I can always bug them. But I think they'll be supportive. So I can't wait to see your work. Um, I am in the middle. I'm about to push a PR. I will show you when I looked at that README. It's still got all that crap. It's got the description of all those CRD YAML files in it. I'm in the
Hmm.
process of deleting just the stuff that's already elsewhere. Let's just get it out of here. One question for you, and I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if you figured out. The webhook is part of lifecycle operator, right?
Hmm. I don't know about that. Regarding webhooks. No. Need
Uh,
to
where are we?
need to have a look on that.
I've got too many things open. There we go. Let me go back and share. Um, I was gonna say it's up to you. I just left this. It's okay under architecture.
Hmm.
There is drawings are really nice. This drawing is not useful, and I'm sure it's out of date. I can't even read it well enough to tell. But there may be sections of that because I think this probably concentrates on the life cycle stuff. I don't think it has as much about the metrics.
Okay.
Yeah, mutating webhook. That's what I think that may technically be part of the life cycle operator, but from
Okay.
documentation, I don't know if that means that you want to write about it as part of the life cycle operator, or if you want to give it its own page and say that it's part of the life cycle operator.
Hmm.
That is quite up to you. And maybe as you look at the code and play with it more, it will become obvious to you what to do.
Yes, yes. Definitely now. Now the real grind begins.
Yeah. And then there's the scheduler. And I tried to help you out in the issues. We actually have a
Hmm.
file set up for the scheduler and for lifecycle operator. We don't have one
Yes.
set up for webhook, but you can add it. And it
Hmm.
looks like they have a couple of sentences about them. You will have
Hmm.
much more, but it's a start.
Yes. Okay.
Um, and then as you take stuff from here and don't need it anymore, you could feel free to, in the same PR, delete the stuff out of the README if you
Sure,
want.
sure. Hmm.
But see, I cannot get this thing. It's light, it's tiny. Oh, there. Okay, so there's the workload instance.
Hmm.
Well, some of this may be, but it's, they tried to put too much in one drawing, so you can't read it and it's not clear.
Hmm.
But okay, what do they say? Comes Kubernetes API. Here's the mutating webhook. Add scheduler name of annotated for Keptn, whatever that means. There's your pod. Pod state is pending. Okay.
Keptn scheduler.
And then, okay, oh, there's the pod. And then and then here's the Keptn scheduler coming in from the other side. And what goes into there? This is just a mess. There's oats. So this thing's just off the screen now, unless maybe if we make it smaller so we can't read it, maybe
Hmm.
it comes back on the screen. Oh, there it goes. Okay. I can vaguely read that. I bet you can't. And the hotel. I think if you break this up into multiple drawings, there's probably some useful stuff here.
We'll try to also reframe this
Hmm?
if possible. If try to reframe this also in a
Yes.
better way.
And see, I think hotel is completely is not part of this. I do think somebody's already asked. My understanding from what Giovanni has said is that over the next few months, right now you can install the metrics operator without anything else. And that the expectation is that within the next few releases, it's going to be separate toolkits, that it will be a toolkit that you can install any of them individually apart from the others.
Okay,
So,
got that.
but it's not there yet. But if you're wondering why, why it's called toolkit and stuff.
Getting.
So I don't know. I can see why you might want metrics operator without the rest, but I'm not real sure I see how you would want life cycle operator. You wouldn't be able to do any evaluations, I think, without the metric operator. So
But we'll try about that. We'll try to means basically try to run on my machine basically, and then we'll start the documentation part.
yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
So
Having a hands-on will be much better. Having a knowledge prior to the implementation.
right. And as I say, don't do what you can. A lot of this, it's going to be a while before we get it perfect, but everything you do is an improvement. So do
Yes.
something, get it started, and do it, and then go on, and because you can always come back and add to it later. There's always another PR. So
Yes.
okay, so I can't wait to read what you say, because I picked up a little bit about how things work, but I'm looking forward to reading your very brilliant analysis that explains it all.
Sure, definitely, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're ready to go?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Yes.
Have a wonderful week, and I'm sure we'll be talking. Anything you need, just ping me.
Yes, sure, Mac. Have a great
Okay,
day.
take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.